AJ Fury. A 2-fight deal has been announced. I think it's the most exciting thing we've had in the world of boxing for a very long time in terms of two Brits up against each other. This is quite interesting as well. Tyson's promoter, Frank Warren, he came on the other morning and he had this to say about it.
First thought it weren't to be announced. We got an agreement. Everybody signed an agreement that there'd be no announcements unless they were joint announcements, and that came out of the blue yesterday. So we're all not happy, but it's out there now. There's nothing we can do about that. It's out there, but there's a long way to go yet. In as much we've got to sort out venues. We've got a couple of venues we're looking at, and that's really where we are. I can't even add any more than that to it.
So have you made up with Frank?
No, I haven't spoken to Frank. I mean, actually, we agreed to announce it in an interview with Bob Arum and Top Rank. I don't know whether those two talk or whatever, but we wanted to give the fans the good news. Frankie's right. We still have to confirm the venue and the date of the fight, of which there's been a lot of progress on in the last week. But everyone's asking, Laura. We can't do an interview without someone saying, "How are you getting on with that? Where are you up to? Where are you up to?" So when everybody signs for that fight, it's a really momentous occasion. So we didn't officially announce it. We gave an interview with ESPN, who is Tyson Fury's broadcasters, which was cleared by Tyson Fury's promoter to do. And, we just wanted to let people know the good news. Like I said, it's all about momentum. It's all about keeping the fans engaged and up to date with what's happening. And, whilst we still need to lock in the venue, and that's been going on last week and next week, I'm off on my travels to various sites as well. We're good. We're in a good place. Both guys have signed for that fight, and both guys are ready and prepared and engaged for that fight, which is, clearly the biggest fight in British boxing history, one of the biggest fights of all time, and probably the sporting event of 2021.
Eddie, it's massive. I mean, we can't wait for it. The country, the world can't wait for it, never mind the country. I'm going to ask you, and I know you can't answer some of these questions, but is it fair to say, due to kind of restrictions, and facilities around the world, the way the situation is, that the first fight, there's absolutely no chance of the first fight being in the UK? Because I know you think it along the same lines. In an ideal world, a 90,000 Wembley would be the place to put this fight on.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, we wouldn't even be having conversations anywhere in the world, Ali, to be honest with you. We'd just be straight into Wembley. Obviously, it is the biggest fight of our generation. It's the moment of both fighters' careers. So we do have to look at the opportunities. And of course, with the crowd restrictions, it makes it even more difficult to generate the kind of money in the UK that we need. There have been a couple of conversations over the last sort of 48 hours. I spoke to Bob Arum on Monday at length, and we were talking about Wembley, and he asked me about the restrictions. And of course, I told him about the Euros going into Wembley and the talks of full capacity going in there in June, July. Could we get full capacity after the Euros, sort of middle end of July? If we could, that does bring London and Wembley into the conversation. I'd love to find an excuse, Ali, to do it in the UK, and to find a way. And I think most people, to be honest with you, and this includes the Middle East, they would prefer to do the fight in the back end of the year. So, do we even do the first one in London and the second one in the Middle East or wherever, those interesting offers come from? There's a lot of discussions to be had. We don't rule out Wembley, but one thing we do know is the only way we could stage that fight in Wembley is with full capacity. So there are some conversations going on with the government to see if that is an option. And if that is an option, that will be presented to the fighters as well.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.